change is driven by their people, not by the external market. See, most of us react to change, and yet the skill is not reacting to change. The skill is to become the driver of change so that your competitors have to react to you rather than you react to your competitors. So the companies that have done well, the companies that have lived through this process, the companies that are going through this process well, are the companies that understand how to drive this change, how to use technology as a weapon, how to have this ability to be agile, to change their products, change their services, change their go-to-market, keep changing the environment. You know, there is an expression that I've always hated, which is, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. I think that's totally wrong. See, I think the right expression is, if it isn't broken, then you should break it. Because the things that we did yesterday to be successful will not work today. And the things that we do to be successful today will definitely not work tomorrow. So we can't assume that if we're doing things right today as a company, that will still work tomorrow. And we have to drive this change through every part of the organization. And so people say to me, so what's the answer? Where do we go to for the next 5 years? And what I say to you is, you already know the answers. You already know what to do, because nearly every company in the world has written into its mission and vision statements the 3 great business lies. And if we can turn these lies into reality, we can run successful businesses. See, the first business lie is that the customer is number one. See, every company has this written into their core values, into their mission and vision statements, but for 90% of companies, it just isn't true. But it is a massive opportunity if we turn it into a reality. See, it isn't true because at any given time, 70% of buyers say that they would be prepared to change their supplier if they were given the opportunity. 70%, it's unbelievable. 2/3 of your customers, whatever industry you're in, would change tomorrow if they were given the chance. And they would do it because they say they're not respected as a customer, that they're not treated the way they should be treated. See, we've become obsessed with the wrong thing. The whole thing now with customers is, the expression has become, you have to delight your customer. I don't want to be delighted. I would just like my expectations to be met. And most of us, most companies don't meet the expectations of their customers. And it's crazy that we don't do it. Because a customer that is satisfied will tell 10 people. A customer that is dissatisfied will tell 100. And I will give you a personal example, because I hate Air France. And I've just told 3,000 people that I hate Air France. They never meet my expectations. And their advertising sets expectations that are unbelievable. I assume they have the same advertising in Turkey. It's a young couple in a swimsuit sitting by a swimming pool, an infinity pool, and then they go and sit down on 2 lounger chairs, and then it says that these 2 chairs are seats 8A and 8B on Air France. I've sat in seats 8A and 8B on Air France. It's nothing like this. For a start, if you turned up in a swimsuit, they wouldn't let you on the plane. But all I want from an airline is that they leave on time. Air France never does. That they arrive on time, which they never do. that their seats don't destroy my back, which they always do, that the person behind me doesn't have his knees in my back and the person in front of me doesn't have his seat in my lap. Now, I could pick on a whole lot of airlines, but I hate Air France. And as a dissatisfied customer, I live in France. I have very little choice most of the time. I have to fly them. But as a dissatisfied customer, every conference I go to, I tell people at the conference that I dislike Air France. It's an example of what your customers do if they don't like the service that you give them. And it's crazy. We all work so hard to get customers, and yet we don't work as hard to keep them. And yet we all understand that it costs us more to get a new customer than it does to retain an existing customer. And most customers just want two things. They want you to respect the fact that they are giving you their money, and they just want you to meet expectations. You don't have to delight customers, you just have to meet their expectations. And those are expectations that you set. And I think one of the greatest opportunities for business benefit and business growth and business success is for you to focus on your customers. The second great lie: our people are our greatest asset. Our people are our greatest asset. But very few companies focus on making sure that they get the best from those people. Because the skill of getting the most from your people is to have them engaged. You know, I think a manager has only one role. And I assume all of you in this room have management responsibilities. So I tell you, you only have one role. It's a very easy job, management. You've only got one thing to do. You have to create an environment where your people that you have responsibility for are prepared to get up at 6 o'clock on a wet Monday morning and say, yes, I've got another 5 days working. I'm serious. That's all the role a manager has to do. And yet, at any given time, only 1/3 of your people are fully engaged where they're prepared to do that. 1/3. I spent a time when I was with SAP for about 3 years. I was head of human resources. These statistics really scared me, that at any given time in nearly every company in the world, only 1/3 of the staff are fully committed. Only 1/3 of the staff get up in the morning committed to the company objectives, committed to the goals you've set for them, wanting to be at work rather than on the beach or playing golf or whatever, because work is fun, because work is interesting, because work is challenging, because work is exciting, because people are growing, because you get a chance to be challenged, because you get a chance to do new things, you get a chance to work with interesting people, you get a chance to play with new products, with new technology. You get a chance to be part of changing the world. 1/3 of your people at any time are totally disengaged. 1/3 are sitting on the fence, they could go either way. But the 1/3 that are disengaged are the problem, because some of those are terrorists. And they are working actively within the company in the same way that I love talking about how bad Air France is. They love talking about how bad things are within your company, which means they're terrorists because they're disengaging other people. If you want to change the environment that your company works within, if you want to change the success factors that your company has, change the percentage of engaged employees. See, I have a great belief that people join companies, but they leave managers. So you join a company because of the image, the excitement of the company, the image you have that this is something that is worthwhile being a part of. But most people leave companies not because they're not paid well enough, which is what everyone hopes to believe, because then it's not the fault of company policy that you pay. The reality is most people leave companies because they haven't been able to